here that look forward to having those days bought back from us benefit us in the summer. I know it benefits me, I know it benefits some of the others. They're looking to take all that away from us. So those of us that are busting our butt because we do value our jobs are going to be penalized. People that miss all the time, hey, they take their 9 days, they miss more days. So let's just give them 16 days and let's give them more time to take off and be paid for it. That's kind of how some of us are looking at it. I think if you guys are going to start implementing things, I think there should be people on a task force and come to our department and say, hey, do you have a couple people that we can talk to get opinions from, because we want to make these changes, and how is it going to affect your department? And actually listen to what we have to say. Because that's where sometimes in the past, and I'm not saying recently, I'm saying in the past, they've come and said, how can we help your department run more efficiently? And we would have Norma, if anybody knows who that is, she would tell them what would benefit our department, and they would do the opposite. And because they thought it was better. And it wasn't better, but we just had to deal with it and we had to adjust, and we did. I just think sometimes some of us that have been here so long, we're never heard. People don't want to speak up because we don't feel like we're heard. And I don't want our department to fall apart. I enjoy my job. I enjoy coming here. I enjoy my kids. I love my families I've gotten close with. I love the people that I work with. But there's been a lot of days this year, and I know it's not just work. It's everything that everybody's had to deal with. I don't enjoy my job like I used to. I can't wait to retire. And I don't want to be at that point. I want to come back loving my job, looking forward to my job, looking forward to seeing my families. But things that are going to be changed, the morale in this department is going to go down. And I really hate to see that, because when we were small, it was like family. This was my second family. And it's getting to where it's not like that anymore.
I believe everything you're saying.
It sucks.
This doesn't help. This doesn't make anybody in here feel any better. But it's the same thing I'm hearing from all of our departments. And well, first of all, let me say this: we have heard about the amazing things you're doing. People jumping up and taking care and filling and running an extra or picking up somebody else or what have you. Kathy does share that stuff with my office, with me. But I've been trying to go around and listen to these things from different groups. I'm pushing a message out to all of our teachers later today because somebody made a decision that didn't go well and wasn't right, and we have to own up to it. We're trying to save employees in every department from quitting during a very difficult time. We're concerned about teachers, we're concerned about paras, we're concerned about bus drivers. We're trying to find solutions. And part of it is listening, part of it is pulling some teams together this summer and trying to find a better way to recruit and retain, take care of, go back to, one of the reasons I came to this district, I was a small town guy my whole life. Grew up small, only went small, took my kids to small schools, all I knew. When I came here and interviewed for this job, I couldn't believe how small it felt. But I can say over the last several years, it's not felt as small as it used to. Not just the departments, but the lack of connectivity. We can only blame so much on COVID. But when I talked about healing wounds earlier, that's it, is finding ways to make connections with people who have made a difference in this district for a long time. So we will. I will learn more about whatever conversation is going on about benefits and pay.
Well, I mean, I know we're trying to get people, but you've got people that's been here for 25 plus years, and people that are coming in and have 5 years, and they're making almost as much as we are. And that sucks for us. Like, we've put our time in, and then they're bringing people in, and we understand we've got to get people, but you've got to somehow let the people know that they're valued, that have been here, that come and do their job. At some point, you have, I mean, that's what people want. We want to know we're doing a good job, and we want to be acknowledged for it. And sometimes a lot of people don't feel like they're acknowledged for it. And it just really, with everything else that we're have to dealing with, I think it's just really come to really heightened awareness in our department over this past year because of all the other situations. We've had to deal with it for several years leading up to this, but I think it's just like everybody's at their breaking point. And we're hurting. Like if we need more bus drivers, if we need more routes next year, I don't know where we're gonna get them. Buses can't drive themselves.
Someday, maybe. I believe everything you're saying, and we are concerned about the same things you're saying. Let me answer a few more questions, and I have one of my staff members is a retirement reception at 9, so I'm skipping that real quick. I want to go back and welcome her or send her off. Today's her last day, so. Oh, yeah, sorry.
My only thing that I have is, we've lost 2 drivers this year because they had children, and the district does not allow children on the bus unless they're 3 or older. Why can't we see about allowing young children back on this bus? I mean, I heard from the enticing of bringing new drivers in, new blood in, is to give them 16 paid days or 16 days. You train a driver 40 to 60 hours to drive a bus. That's $500 to $800 that you're paying somebody. And then they accumulate after 6 years, 100 days of paid time off. They go have that baby, and when they come back after 100 days, and we pay them their regular pay, which we're looking at over $8,500 for 100 days that they're sitting at home taking care of their baby. They come back to work, and we say, sorry, your child's not allowed. No bus driver's going to work here for the pay that we get and pay a babysitter over $200 to $300 a week. We don't make that a week.
So I don't know the laws around ages and so forth. I suspect one of the challenges is the younger the child, the more challenging, the more potential issues, having to stop, having to, I don't know.
We've had it here before, and Goddard allows it. That's where the other drivers have gone, is to Goddard. And there's a potential of others leaving here also because of children, grandchildren, things like that. I mean, my thought I said was, is why we have paras and stuff that we pay. Why can't we see about a couple of paras coming in here and the drivers bring their children, small children, leave them in the building, and they only stay between certain times, and they have to be gone.
Yeah, the health department's particular about child care facilities.
All the buses have seatbelts.
No, I'm just saying, the idea of letting them stay here. All right, I'll look into that. I don't know if I can answer all these questions.
So,
Kathy, are you planning on a meeting today?
just three things real quick. So what she's saying about pay is 100% correct. If you leave here and you see that sign out front, making what we're all making and seeing what they're hiring new drivers at, it's offensive.
It is.
2, the rumor that Paul started with, that's come from your office, directly to us. So we all take it as gospel, that it's gonna be put in place. So it's frightening. And then 3, my biggest concern is our safety issues. We talked to our mechanics. I have started taking pictures of my write-ups. I drive about 200 miles a day sometimes, mostly highways, 50 to 70 miles an hour on ball tires for 3 weeks, begging. And I had to argue with him. I had to go in and be the, oh, I don't really understand, but can you help me? Just to get tires. These girls in the office told me, don't drive your bus. But here's the problem. We don't have extra buses. Our buses are broken down all the time. It's changed. There's huge safety and repair issues going on. Those, not only our lives, but kids' lives. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. And it's concerning. That's bigger than pay for us.
Okay. Right here.
So what I would suggest is maybe you have a task force of drivers to meet with individually and discuss those as adults in a different way. One of the things that I've learned in being in management for years, and as long as I'm gonna get on my soapbox, I'm gonna say because I am an old nurse, and I know one of your daughters is a nurse, carefully one
Nurse
day,
manager, yeah.
that I appreciate the fact that science-based is factual, and all of these conspiracy theories are driving,
I won't get into that.
or just destroying America.
I like your hat.
When I saw the positive note, and I'm not sure what it was, I heard there's 675, around 700 vaccinations at spring break. I wasn't sure what the employment total number was here, but my rough guess by one method I used was maybe about 2,000. So there's 25–30% of people got vaccinated.
No,
Do you know if it's higher than that?
It's
Do you know the
it's
number?
much higher than that. We don't know the number because we're not asking for proof or anything like that. We sent out about 1,400 emails to every possible person that comes in contact with our kids. That's substitute teachers, that's Rule 10 coaches. That's about 1,450 or something like that. And so that was almost 800, I think, that first run. But we had others before who could get it early, others who've gotten it. We think we're between 60 and 70% district-wide. Now, we don't know what it is in this room. We don't know what it is in our teaching staff or classrooms. We don't know that. We're not going to ask that. All we're going to do is,
Well, on a positive note, I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to hear that people are, and I hope they continue vaccination.
I'll look into the task force committee. I have a group of students I meet with as an advisory team. I have a group of teachers I meet with as an advisory team. We had talked about putting a classified staff collectively together a couple of years ago, but we could never find a time when they could all meet differently. So I think that's good advice. I got one more, and then I wasn't expecting a butt whipping this morning.
Mine's short and easy. I drive the STAR kids in East South Elementary, and we have 2 special needs buses that also drop off on the north side of the building. These kids load and unload in mud, water puddles, ice, and snow every day, where the big buses get to drop off on concrete. I didn't know if they have any plans to build a sidewalk along there. They have those little,
Where are you at?
on the north side of Main South Elementary. But yeah, these kids have to walk through the ice, and there's mud puddles where they go,
Because it doesn't go far enough to the west?
The sidewalk just comes out to the street. There's nothing to unload onto except for mud.
All right. So there's going to be significant changes over there.
Okay.
You know, we're adding on, we're growing that school to the west. To the west, and that road is going to go closer to the baseball field. And then straight out to May South Middle School. There, we'll try to get something posted online. We need to update our bond site. Yeah. I don't know. I'll check on how it answers that. But okay, I said one more.
Just on summer school, are you gonna make us wear masks to drive summer school, or?
Now, I don't make.
Oh.
I'm going to recommend to the board, well, I shouldn't say what I'm going to recommend, because I haven't, yesterday's announcement made a big deal, but I anticipate recommending all staff, employees, students, masks strongly encouraged but not required. At this point, I think there's plenty of opportunity to get vaccinations. They've moved the age down to 12. Hopefully that'll continue to go lower as the summer goes. So, all right, can I get out of here alive, Phil? Kathy, thank you. Good summer.
We'll see what happens, huh?
If you forgot.
Oh, I'm not done.
No,
Play with the lights on that side. We gotta get going. Okay. First of all, so that we can get Kim and our office staff back out where they are supposed to be. We gotta get a signature. If I can have Kim and Jessica and Debbie come up to the front. Come on, ladies. Can you turn that light back on, Kyle? I changed my mind. The middle one? I'm a girl, I'm allowed. Yep, that's the one. Come back over, because you gotta get the cameras like right here. Come on over. Okay, so, I feel like I've done a decent job, maybe not according to the background. I apologize if we have not made you feel special enough. And by God, if I have not made you realize how much we truly, truly appreciate every single one of you in this room and beyond. My deepest condolence, my deepest, I am so sorry, because you guys have no idea how much we appreciate every single one of you guys. Every single one of you. Even those that I have to continually pull into my office, I still love you. You're just like my teenage children, I have to pay a little more attention. But I truly, truly do appreciate every single one of you. I always try and take time out and talk to most of you, and I am so sorry if you don't feel appreciated by our office, because you are so appreciated. But these three ladies we haven't talked about all year long, and I can't tell you how appreciative I am of them. So thank you, ladies, for answering all the calls, good, bad, and extremely ugly we have had this year. For all you do, I tell you, you are way underpaid for what you do. So thank you. I don't have any prizes or anything, but I do want you girls to realize how much we truly appreciate